go.
Toga. Toga.
Toga. Let's go. My
Two.
number one from day one. He's back.
Wow. Yes, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here, Totem Pole Nation. Life
Live
Lesson
from
Podcast,
somewhere.
number 200. 200, Coach.
200. What a wonderful number. 2 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. And it's 2. It's 2 of us. Just the 2 of us.
Ooh,
Just the 2 of us.
that is a good one.
Yeah. I had a good song I wanted to play. Let me see if I can at least play it on my phone.
Yeah, man.
I probably can't even pull it off, man. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear it.
Huge happy birthday to my guy Chase Davis. He's hitting 29 today.
Wow. Go ahead.
That's our man in Michigan. And
I love him.
Also,
I love him.
It's also 3 months sober for Chase. So congratulations.
That's great, brother. Heck yeah. I'm trying to see. I can't share my screen.
You're one. How many years sober are you, Coach?
What's your definition of sober? Don't drink or do drugs?
Right.
Since I was 21. So I'm
early
45
starter
now. Early starter, early stopper. And why don't I drink? Because I'll end up being what?
Probably in a mental institution or under the jail.
Arrested, yeah. In a mental institution. Yeah, there's a reason I don't drink. All right, because I know my shadow and I know my ancestors. I know
freedom.
Man, dude, doesn't it just feel right for Coach Bald and for Coach Taylor to be on episode 200? Let's just sit back and reflect on the journey that has been Totem Pole Nation and has been the Life Lessons Podcast. Oh my gosh, look at this. MK, I missed you, Coach Bald. MK, Coach Bald has been working on something. I don't know if you are ready for this, but Coach Bald sent this to me last night.
MK is in the house.
Are you ready?
MK is in the house. MK is in the house.
Coach Bald, how did you make that happen from our number one from day one, MK all day, Life Lessons quote of the day?
You know, she's just a huge part of what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't always feel good getting up, but you're inspired by other people sometimes. Get up because you don't want to let a person down. And that's what type of loyalty that she has had from us since day one, man. So, yeah. If we're not changing anybody else's life, I know that we're a shining star in hers and vice versa. Her
MK is in the house. MK is in the house.
Man, MK is in the house. You only get one of those if you are a member of Totem Pole Nation. Man, Coach Bald, shout out to our interns, Howie and Scott. Y'all are always making it happen because we're a team. We are a team. This is episode 200, and the team that is Totem Pole Nation. We are the low man on the totem pole. And there have been people, Coach Bald, that have came on here and said, you guys can't use the name Totem Pole. That is the Native American thing. We are the totem pole. Totem poles took time to build. Totem poles told a story. And we are the totem pole, right, Coach Bald? How do you feel about that?
Hey, man, we got over, I want to say 6,000 minutes of podcast on here that we're trying to help people get better, and it's on YouTube for eternity, or at least until they kick us off.
A decade of hits that will live forever.
That's it, man. That's it. Yeah, my grandkids going to watch this one day and figure out a little bit more about me than probably, their own parents know sometimes. But yeah, man, I totally agree for it to be 200. Wow, that's a fascinating number. And I haven't been on lately, so I'm so proud of the family. Crystal Ball Paul, man, he's been phenomenal. Lambo has he's just stepping up, man, and I just appreciate those guys because I had to take care of some business. I had to take care of some things, and yeah, I'm so glad to be back on. I'm heading out of town early tomorrow, going to one of my best friends' wedding, Kenny Thomason and Big Ken. We had him on the podcast. And funny story, Coach, he's a guy. I was at the beach and I saw a kid doing lineman drills. So I went over there and started coaching him up. You know what I mean? And now here we are 12, 13 years later, and I've seen him graduate and I'm going to see him get married. And it's an amazing thing. You never know unless you say what's up to somebody. You never know who you might bump into. You might just bump into somebody. They end up being one of your best friends for life, and that's why we're doing the podcast, man, to get these stories out and to share these special moments. But yeah, man, my guy's getting married tomorrow. So we're hopping on a plane, headed to St. Louis, and we're just looking forward to it, man. This guy's been working his tail off. He's now coaching college football, so super proud of him for that. But yeah, man, he's just staying on the path, and I just can't wait to hang out with him and the family and just enjoy the moment. That's what this life is about. It's about the moments.
MK, quote of the day. This guy knows a little bit about mi familia. This guy knows a little bit about loyalty. This guy knows a little bit about leadership. You give loyalty, you'll get it back. You give love, you'll get it back. Tommy Lasorda. Mike Piazza was hitting baseball in a cage, and Ted Williams was watching him. And some people don't like it. But when you've been around sports for so long, one person reminds you of another. There's always a point of reference. I learned that from a major league scout. And Ted Williams said, this kid's better than I was at his age. And that guy, Mike Piazza, was drafted in a very, very late round by a family member. Piazza, Tommy Lasorda, mi familia, the family. They know something about loyalty. The Godfather. Man, what a movie that was. You feel like the Godfather, don't you, Coach Ball?
You Coach, you never know who's watching. And speaking of that, let me ask you this, Coach. In football, I've been out of it for a little bit, But is it okay now if guys don't jog off the field?
No.
Okay, I got you. I was just making sure because some things don't last, some things last forever. You know what I mean? I was just wondering about that.
You know,
But
yeah, there's patterns.
Yep. So I want to tell you this. So I went and I watched Lakewood High School here in St. Petersburg. They played their spring game, and I went up there, and I got to see the UVA quarterback was there on the sidelines, right? Anthony Calandria. And let me tell you what I noticed. There was a ball that went out of bounds, okay, and it hit the person that was holding all of the water, all the water jugs and everything, and it hit the ground. And this guy was over there, and he was grabbing every single thing up off the ground. Now, this is the quarterback. This is the quarterback that's going to be starting for University of Virginia this year. He started some games last year. But to see that on the sidelines in person, that's what a leader does. He doesn't look around to see who's looking. He just starts leading.
Or tell someone else, pick those up.
Right. Nope. He did it himself. And that was one of the most impressive things I saw the whole time. But it was great to see those guys. Tracy Johnson, who was our quarterback when I was coaching back in 2013, he's the offensive coordinator. And, man, he just called a gem of a game. It was great. I got to see Valdez Scantlin was out there with them. And just to see those two guys collaborating again, I was having flashbacks because when I was coaching, we took our guys across the bridge to Tampa to play a Jesuit football team that was loaded that season. And we put a whooping on those guys, and it was phenomenal. But it was because of those two guys, that Tracy Johnson to Valdez Scantlin. Ooh, that combination, those guys literally took that game over and said it's us and I am him. So it was great to see those guys on the sideline. And this past weekend, my guy Isaiah Wynn, Miami Dolphins, he had a football clinic, and I got a call asking if I could be a part of it. And man, it was phenomenal. I went up there, and it was me and it was 4 other guys, either playing currently or former players in the NFL. So it was super fun. I had a great time. Free camp that he did. They fed the kids, and it was great. Cornell Green, another former Lakewood offensive lineman that played several years in the NFL. He was also a part of it. They had a guy, Byron Matos, huge offensive lineman. Man, this guy was, 6'7", probably 315, and didn't look like he had an ounce of body fat on him, but he showed up, helped out. So it was great to get back there on the field and help out those young men. I could not be more proud of Isaiah and what he does for the community and everything he does here in St. Petersburg. But yeah, that was my weekend, and just wanted to share that. A lot of good stuff. It's great to see Coach Kimball, who's been at Lakewood for probably 20 years now. But I think we lost Coach for a moment. But just glad to have you guys. Glad to be back here. The Life Lessons podcast. They're just kind of testimonies on things that we've gone through and things that we're going through. So it's good to be able to share that. And it was great being back out on that football field. But that was one thing I did notice in that spring game, Coach. I did notice one of the better players really not jogging off the field. And I was like, I didn't think you could still do that. I thought you always jogged off the field.
Yeah, dude. My internet, my data, my whatever went crazy. Was yours messing up? Or was it just mine?
You just fell off, and I just rolled with it.
Yeah, well, that's what we do here, is we keep it rolling. And, man, we've talked a lot about patterns, Coach Bald. And, man, the more I learn and study, the more that I realize we need to not listen to what is outside of us, but to listen to what is inside of us and to go to people like yourself, who's a life coach, people like Crystal Ball Paul that have life experience, and to rely on y'all's intuition and your feeling on things. What does your training as a life coach say about that?
Well, the difference between, a life coach and a therapist is a life coach pretty much takes you from what you've got going on now to the future. A therapist, their job is to kind of dig back in the past to maybe find the root of the situation. As where a life coach, we're going to jump off this thing and figure it out on the way down. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And you know what? It's helped me in my own life, thinking with that philosophy, because looking in the rear view, you're going to be stuck there if you keep staring. It's like people with depression. It's okay to be upset, but don't pack your bags. Don't bring a tent, and don't stay there. I heard a quote the other day. It was, "You're depressed because you're not where you should be. You're depressed because you're not where you should be."
Yeah.
But that's not your end game. That's not your end game. Sometimes you just have to say, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to teach me?
Yeah, MK, I have been a high school head coach. I've been a college football coach. This is my second stop in college since my son's been alive. And I was coaching at Virginia Union and teaching at a elementary school in the city. And I missed my son's first day of school. I missed my son's first day of school because I had practice and I didn't want to miss my first day of school at a new school. And I regret that. And I'm not going to be missing no more stuff like that. So I got sick days, I got personal days, and I'm going to use them. And MK, I want to let you know something. You have motivated us. So a middle school student in Indiana has had an impact on grown men, and you have motivated us to take this to another level, because we feel like we're making a difference. We feel like we're helping change people's lives. We feel like we're helping others. We feel like we're building champions. MK, you're not a champion because you hold a trophy. Most of the trophies today aren't even gold. You're not a champion because you get a ring. I mean, Robert Kraft had a $40,000 Super Bowl ring, and Vladimir Putin laughed at it. He said, I can make a ring a lot better than this. You're a champion because what's inside you. What's inside of you is better than any ring or any trophy. And I was listening to Dick Gregory this morning, and he was talking to his grandkid, and he took his grandkid outside when it was raining, and he said, see these little drops of rain? And his grandkid said, yeah, granddaddy. He said, all these little drops of rain, you know what they're doing? And he said, what? Finding their way home. And that's what we're doing. We're the low man on the totem pole. We're finding our way home. Look at Coach Bald's home. Now that's paradise. But Coach Bald, paradise is in here.
Yeah.
If you don't have paradise in here, your outside ain't going to be paradise. to quote the guru that told Mike Tyson, when you come from the muck, you can stay in the muck and become the muck. You can run from the muck, go to a cave, and the muck is in here. Or you can become a lotus flower. And only lotus flowers grow from the muck. And hopefully that's what we have become, because we know where we came from and we know who made us, our coaches, our teachers, our mentors, the people that loved us, our parents. Coach Bald is who he is today because of his mom and his aunt and his wife and his mother-in-law and his coaches.
Yeah,
How do you
man.
feel about that, Coach Bald?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head, and I want to thank everybody that's prayed for my mother-in-law. She's getting after it, man. She's got to do chemo today, and yeah, man, she's just a fighter. You know, she's the best part of all of us. You know, you can't quit when she won't quit. You know what I mean? And like I said, you know, she said that, you know, she hates to be a burden on us, but man, the times that we have with her are the best. Like if we're at a restaurant, we might have a good time, but if she's with us, man, we're guaranteed to have a great time. You know, so I'm just very thankful for everybody that's been, you know, saying their blessings. It's working. You know, she's fighting through this. She does her chemo today, and that's one thing that I wanted to mention too. You know, one of our sponsors, St. Pete Rejuvenate. We've been able to get her IV hydration therapy, usually a few days after her chemo, and it's really been a game changer. It gets her feeling better a lot faster. You know, she's able to move around. She wants to go to places. You know, she don't want to just sit home. You know, so it's giving her good energy and everything. And yeah, man, that's just it's such a beautiful thing. And I love being a part of it and love helping people out. But when you can help your immediate family or your friends, that's what it's all about.
Chance Fawcett, Brandon Toms,
Fellas, morning.
Coach Bald. Today, our friend from Sideline Sports Network, MK. Good morning, Chance. I like that, the fire. Are you going to be able, Coach Bald, to join the conference call today with Sideline Sports Network, Totem Pole Nation, and Autograph, Tom Brady's online sports platform that rewards you for being a fan?
I'm going to try to move some things around to be available for it. I'm a huge Brady fan. I mean, I got two amazing plaques autographed by him, and they're numbered. You know,
bro, you need to have that in the background.
They're 1 through 12, and guess what? I got 2 of them. You know what I mean?
that needs to be the background. That needs to be the background. You're the president of Totem Pole. I'm the low man on the Totem Pole.
Yeah, man.
But, dude, that needs to be the background because that is legit. Okay. Breaking news, Totem Pole Nation.
Uh-oh.
As you know, we're the low man on the totem pole. As you know, people feel sorry for us. And tomorrow morning, me and Crystal Ball Paul, Lambo won't be there. We will be meeting with a guy who Totem Pole Nation may be getting headquarters number 2 in Richmond, Virginia, a studio. So Lambo, doesn't have dirty underwear in the background? A studio for Totem Pole. And y'all that have been with us since day one, yes, MK, a studio, a place that Totem Pole can go and create content. Coach Bald, what a deal and what a blessing that this is. How do you feel about this opportunity?
Hey man, it's the price is right. You got to pull the trigger. You can't sit there and look at a price and think it's going to go down. You know, that's a chance of a lifetime right there. You know, I wish you guys were, if you all you guys were here, we'd get you a room at St. Pete Rejuvenate, man. We got 4 rooms in that place. You know, it's phenomenal.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I think that's you know, to get to where we want to be, we got to take chances. You know,
Chance.
That's what we're doing. Chance Fawcett.
Yeah,
you here.
You know, I say Totem Pole is a joke because we're a joke. It's funny. Like we're being silly. We're being ourselves. But we really have a mission, and our mission resonates with people. It is to change lives and to help others and to build champions. Coach Bald, are we really building champions or are we just revealing champions? Because what's inside of you is what is the champion. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think we're leaving footprints. We're leaving crumbs. You know,
we're planting seeds.
Yeah, we're leaving blueprints, but you know, you can lead the horse to water, so they say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, everybody's path is different, but the path should be to be getting better, you know? And some people will get better at a faster pace. You know, most people will give up because they don't see a change in one day, you know? One day diet ain't gonna work.
No. And for the number 200, I mean, can you remember 100? I don't even know if we were keeping count then.
Yeah. No.
I can remember the first one. Hoarding.
Yeah.
I mean, what a journey it has been. And I mean, we've only been doing this for a year.
Right.
A year and a half. I mean, you got hurt. I mean, yeah, we've only been doing this for a year. Like, look at how far we've came in a year. What a blessing this has been. We didn't even know who MK was or Chance. Yeah. And dude, I mean, to get a text message at 2 a.m. from Dick LeBeau.
Yeah.
That dude exudes wisdom. I mean, that text message pretty much made me feel like the creator, the divine architect of the universe was basically saying, Troy, don't you know who I am? Like, I know Terry Rabisky. I know Jimmy Ray. And they do an excellent job of determining who wins the awards of excellence. Wow. Yeah. Troy, you're the only one that's stupid enough to text message me about this. But the only reason I do it is because I care. And when you're the low man on the totem pole, what do you have to lose?
That's it, man. Got to take a chance.
Take a chance.
Got to step up and do something or nobody will ever know who you are.
Yeah, some people talk about it. Some people, what is that, Michael Jordan? Some people think about it. Some people talk about it. Some people make it happen. And dude, did you watch the game last night?
I watched it till halftime.
Well, Kyrie had a great first half. and Luka Doncic
Blew up.
made it happen.
Yeah.
What did you think when I predicted that the Dallas Mavericks would win the NBA Finals? I mean, was that a long shot? I mean, that's some people wait, Chance says. Some people wait and done people act. What?
You know, I thought I thought it was like a homer pick, to be honest, Coach. Like, I know you like Ja Morant, but I also know that you're a big Luka fan. So I thought this is probably his only dog in the fight here. So he's going to go ahead and say that. But yeah, man, the way it's worked itself out, wow. Yeah, you might have hit it on the head. You know, you might have hit it on the head with this one. But I like how it's been brought up. I think I was watching you guys last night, and Madness. He had mentioned, that Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan was Ant-Man versus Luka, and that's just comical to me because like a lot of times with Luka, he does get banged up, and you'll see him wincing in pain. Dude, that was a lot how Larry was later on in his career when he had his bad back and everything, you know. So I could see where people, you know, they could see that. I could see that as well.
Yeah, like, you know, watching Luka last night, I love Larry Bird. I don't think Larry Bird is as big as Luka. I could be wrong. Who won the games last night? The Dallas Mavericks. But like when Luka gets the ball and he decides he's going to go to the rim, I mean, it reminds me of like, some people might get mad at this, but oh well. It reminds me of LeBron and how LeBron would just get the ball and go to the rim and make it happen. Like Luka's not going above anybody, but when dude wants to get to the rim, he gets to the rim. And I wish Paul was in here to give us some insight.
Yeah, man, I definitely noticed like when he does that, the defense will collapse on him, and he'll just dish it, and I mean guys will be wide open.
I'm gonna text Paul, man. We got to get Paul in here.
Coach, you blacked out on your screen.
Yeah, no, I'm texting Paul. That's the reason. Yeah, I'm texting Paul. That's the reason I blacked out. I'm back. I was just texting Paul, wanting to get Paul on here to get his opinion. Because, dude,
what happened last night? Like I was watching the feed, and then a second later,
okay,
what?
Well, you know, my great friend Brandon Toms, he did something that I have done, and you have done, and pretty much everyone has done.
Yeah.
And there's a red button on this screen that says end.
Kyle Jolly button.
It's like you're ending your game. You're ending your time. So what do you think? It's time to end everybody's time. And it's only natural to me, like I told Lambo last night when I talked to him after the show.
Yeah.
Dude, he did. I told him, I said, that's the worst thing that happens tonight. We're gonna be all right. And then me and Brandon talked off the air, you know, because once we press end, y'all, this thing keeps going.
Yeah.
MK, who won the games last night? It was the Dallas Mavericks, but like he was like, I'm sorry, man. But dude, like we started another stream. There was 86 people watching just from Coach Troy Taylor Twitter feed. And that's because all those kids, the recruits and stuff that's following me. And we're going to continue to do it, man, because like Paul watches a lot of this stuff. Let's go Mavs, MK. Yeah.
Yeah, Coach, that was the funny thing is I believe the first time I did it, you had invited me on, and you had Kyle Jolly on.
Yeah,
and he's a Virginia guy, but lives in Tampa. So we were collaborating, And yeah, I think I accidentally hit the end button. And I believe you guys still talked for about another hour thinking you guys were live streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there ain't nothing like when you're a human being like us, when you're the low man on the totem pole and you really know what you are. Like, there's really nothing that someone could do that I haven't already done or am capable of doing. So, like, for me to think, oh, I'm better than that person, or that guy on the street holding the sign, that couldn't be me. That could be me. And maybe that is me. Because we're all connected. That's one thing I keep hearing. And really, transcendentalism, Ralph Waldo Emerson, the Rastas, I. Some people don't like to hear that. They want to divide. Where are the trolls at today? Where are the trolls today? Have they came out, Coach? Have you scared them away? I mean, what? They know I like to mess with them. How do you feel about how I'm handling the trolls? Do you enjoy that?
It's funny. It's fun. It's entertaining. You know, I know the other day there was a female that there was a female that mentioned something, and you were like, "Hey, we're a kids-friendly show," and I thought that was very clever.
Crystal Ball Paul,
the man from Seattle. That was probably the best intro of all time when Lambo said, "Hey guys, it's the man from Seattle."
Golly, dude.
What's up, my brother Paul? God bless you, man.
Same to you, man. It's still funny every single time I hear it.
Someone said free Pakistan. Dude, they don't want Pakistan to be free. They don't want none of us to be free. They want us just to make them money. And my man, Crystal Ball Paul, that is my homeboy. That is my friend. That is my brother. That is Jimbo Fisher's brother. Because I am Jimbo Fisher. I need to shave my head like y'all's, man. Yeah, I need to shave my head. Crystal Ball Paul.
Yeah.
Are you going to Fork Union today?
We'll see. I mean, it's always something, man. I got always something to do, but I hope I can clear my calendar.
If you go, I want to go. If you go, I want to go because I ain't got to go to school. I got to go to my son's award ceremony, and then I want to go, and then if you go treasure hunting or something, I want to go too, man. Yeah, Coach Bald, what are you thinking? Paul wasn't on here earlier, but how proud are you of Totem Pole Nation being the president? And I'm the low man on the totem pole.
You know what? This is a partnership. You guys can come to me with anything, and let's talk about it. Let's get better. You know what I mean? Like there is no wrong answer. You know what I mean? There is no wrong answer. Like leaders lead. Let's do this, guys. You know what I mean? Let's rock and roll. I want to know what Paul. Is there any way, Coach Taylor, you can pull up the picture for the 200th episode? I want to hear what Paul has to say about looking at that picture. Holy
I don't know.
cow.
I don't know if I can because. Have you got another phone you can show it on? Because I want my own.
I might be able to.
Yeah. But. So Paul, Lambo motivates me. Because Lambo's got this program, this thumbnail program that he pays $50 for. So what do? I go on and I want to make thumbnails like Lambo. So I get the free 3 days and I start making thumbnails. And I make this thumbnail of Coach Bald. The man from Seattle. Is he on here? He's on here. Did you see the thumbnail? You saw it, didn't you, Paul?
Oh, here you go. Here you go. See that?
Yeah.
How much swag do you see there?
The most crooked mullet you ever seen before. Ever. It was a mullet hawk.
You were ahead of your time.
I thought I was Brian Bosworth with a little Deion Sanders and maybe some old school Dick Buckus.
And some Screech.
And some Screech power. Oops.
You look like AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
Dude, he could have been AJ Hawk. Dude, he would take AJ Hawk and he would ball him up. That's right. And I would ball you up, McAfee. Crystal Ball Paul. I talked to Lambeau last night. Lambeau has came off the ledge. Lambeau's more motivated than ever. And I told him he needs to take your coaching. He needs to take your advice. And I told him he needs to stop cussing. And he said, well, he needed to be himself. I said, dude, Paul watches the people that you want to become. You need to take his coaching. Talk about what I'm saying to you. What do you think, Paul?
Absolutely. Look, man, and again, I don't that's a good point, because just the two shows I mentioned to you yesterday, the Sports Junkies and the Steel City Twins, man, he could, if he watched those just a couple episodes every night and watch how they do business. I mean, it's totally two different shows. I mean, and again, you talking about swearing. The Steel City Twins, they swear, but they have a swear jar, and they have to donate money every time they do it. It just because they get a little bit excited. But the Junkies is a good one to watch because it'll give you
Thank you for commenting,
a picture of it will give him a picture of the future of how he wants to look and sound, because again, it's not a sports desk. And again, I mean, I came on this morning as I was driving. I'm like, listen to what they're talking about. I mean,
what were they talking about?
They were talking about one, the main topic was how the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Stars, like every night this week, they have a champion. They have a playoff game. And he was talking about, like, man, what if that, because they're DC guys, so it's like, what if that was the Wizards and the Caps? This place would go crazy. And they were like, man, it must be nice to just be living in that moment down there in Dallas. And I was like, And then they start talking about, the Baltimore Washington Parkway, how it's the worst road in all of America. And they started going like, my GPS sends me there, and I feel like I'm in a third world country driving down that road. And
why do they say it's the worst? Do they actually have a solution, or are they just complaining?
They're complaining. They said it's just unkempt, and they don't know if it's ran by the state or the federal government. Like as far as the maintenance on the road, it's like it just doesn't get any maintenance. And it's a major throughway, especially when you don't know where you're going and you're just using GPS. It's going to send you through there to get around things, and it's like, what is this?
Sports Junkies. Get up with Totem Pole. Like, dude, the reason it's terrible is because they want it to be terrible. There's 3 cities that are countries: Vatican City, London, and Washington, D.C. They want that junk to be terrible because the people that really run it, they don't have to sit in that traffic. They use helicopters. They use planes. MK, I got to go to school, so I hope everyone has a great day today. 200 is crazy. Everyone is in my prayers. Oh, hold on. Paul, watch this, Paul. I think I sent this to you.
MK is in the house.
Paul, I think I need to make one. MK has left the building, like Elvis. Why did they used to say that, Paul? Elvis has left the building.
Good question. Maybe because he was so big when he exited and the show was over. It was just a deflating experience.
No, dude, I don't think anybody was gonna leave. Like, they was gonna stay because they was hoping he was gonna come back.
Yeah, and do an encore like Jay-Z.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Dave Matthews Band. Dave is always coming back because the people always want Dave to come back. You got to see Dave Matthews Band, dude.
I know. It'll happen.
This is going to be my fourth total time, third time with my girlfriend. The first time I saw him was probably like 1998 or 99 in Memorial Stadium in Roanoke. I think it's Memorial Stadium, City Stadium. Bruce Hornsby opened up. Crystal Ball Paul. Look down there at the bottom of that screen. Look at that background. Coach Bald, is that the background he needs to have when we have our meeting with autograph?
Absolutely.
Are you going to be on the meeting with SSN and autograph today?
What time?
5:30 p.m., I believe. I texted it to you.
Okay.
Eastern Standard Time.
No problem.
No problem.
Nope.
The guys, well, Sideline Sports Network told me that Totem Pole Nation pretty much glitched their app because we were posting so much on their app that we basically broke it. And they wanted to talk to us because now we've put out so many pictures and we posted so many times that we glitched their app. They want to talk to us. How did we do it? I guess it's just us. Did you see the text message that I got from Dick LeBeau?
Yes.
Did that not exude wisdom? I mean, it was like the Lord was telling me, Troy, don't you know who I am? Like, I know Terry Robisky. I know Jimmy Ray. And they do a great job. But I guess that's what makes me the low man on the totem pole. I'm stupid enough to text message Dick LeBeau. And he's a good enough person to respond to the low man on the totem pole. Isn't that amazing?
Who's the current Kavanaugh? The young Kavanaugh of college football.
Probably Shane Beamer.
There you go.
But Shane Beamer is a head man.
Yeah, now yeah.
Like the Kavanaugh is the guy behind the scenes, the guy that coaches the safety that plays to the field. I think he's like an outside back or a nickel. He coaches those guys. And then he was telling me a story yesterday about when Michael Vick was a freshman. And Michael Vick, it was the first practice that they had, and they were in Skelly, Pascal 707, and he threw an out route, and it the receiver ran out, and the ball hit him in the helmet, and it knocked his helmet off. And everybody was like, "What?" And they almost had to play him because Al Clark got hurt, and then that Meyer kid got hurt, and then they had to take Nick Sorensen, who's the defensive coordinator for the 49ers now. Kavanaugh told me they moved him from safety to quarterback because they promised Michael Vick's mom and his high school coach that they weren't going to, take off his red shirt. But, yeah. Who's the Kavanaugh today?
Sorensen? Wow.
Nick Sorensen, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, guys like Jim Kavanaugh aren't born, they're made. Because he played for Marv Levy and he played for Lou Holtz at William & Mary. And he's from Long Island, New York. Wow. And he coached at a high school in Newport News. And he coached for Mac Brown. And he coached for Frank Beamer and other legends. So, he knew everybody. Kind of like his web was crazy big. Like Coach Bald. Everybody knows Big Daddy Cool. Big Daddy Cool, what are you feeling? What are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it earlier, Paul, but I wanted to share a story with you. The local high school that I coached at is called the Lakewood Spartans. I went up there. They had a spring game, a few years back, their quarterback, his name was Anthony Calandria, and he's the starting quarterback at UVA. Well, I want you to pass this message on to your son. You know, you never know who's watching. I was watching those guys. There was a ball that sailed out of bounds, and it hit the person that was holding all the water jugs. So all the water jugs hit the ground. That guy, Anthony Calandria, grabbed every single one of them, picked them all up, helped the person up and everything. That spoke volumes to me, you know, just seeing that in action. You know, I don't know. Some people would probably just back up and get away and let somebody else pick it all up. But just to see him jump into action, man, that right there, that's what a leader does right there. And I thought that would be something I could see Ethan doing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know who's watching? You know, now we're on here talking about it, right?
Paul, your leadership experience in the military. What we talk a lot about, you know, you were telling me about moving up rank and pulling rank on people. What does that make you think of in your experience hearing a story like that?
It makes me think of something my dad told me. He told me, he's like, hey, if you're going to be a leader in the Army, you need to learn how to run backwards just like you run forward. And I'm like, what? And he goes, well, let me tell you something. The leader of the platoon, of the company, of the battalion, he stands in the front of the formation on battalion, company, and platoon runs. Meaning you're running right next to the guidon bearer. But he goes, every once in a while, you need to turn around and run backwards so you can make an assessment of your formation. Because at the end of every run, if it's a post run, we run by the commanding general, and you salute the commanding general. So if you never learn how to run backwards, you don't know how the people in your outfit look. Meaning your formation could be all over the place, and you're saluting the general, and you're like, you're the man, and right behind you is just a bunch of junk, people falling out, and people not in formation. No, you need to run backwards, check everything that's is dress right, dress and straight, and if it's not, you grab one of the NCOs or you yell at them and say, "Hey, tighten up the formation." So I was like, okay, all right. So the moral of the story was, not only in a run, you constantly got to turn around. To lead, you've got to turn around and check on what's going on around you. You just can't be leading from the front, in the front, not worry about what's behind you.
Yeah. And my dad was a DI drill instructor at Parris Island, a Marine, and, you know, ran Reynolds Metals extrusion plant on Remet Road in Chesterfield with a 10th grade education. And he always said, Troy, in order to give orders, you must first have to know how to take orders. See, everybody wants to be the guy giving the orders, but you can't give orders until you know how to take orders.
Correct.
Coach Bald, what's that mean to you? Because I know that's making crystal ball Paul look in that crystal ball that's located right here, and he's starting to see things, and he's starting to remember things. But Coach Bald, what does that mean to you? Like, my dad sat with you at that picnic table, dude, and told you what to do. But sometimes we're so young, we think we know what to do. Like, but we really just need to learn from the old heads that's been there, right? What are you thinking, Kyle?
You're right, man. It comes in patterns. You know, it definitely comes. I think something I learned as far as leadership that I think has been some strong methodology is, you know, as your leader, you know, sometimes, you know, you go and you talk to members in your crew and see how they want to attack something. What is their game plan on attacking something? And if it sounds pretty good, I think you let them roll with it, because they're probably going to try harder at their idea than they will at your idea. You know, especially if they have a decent idea, you know, let them roll with it. That's a good game plan. Let's execute it. You know, that way you give them some leadership. And hey, if it doesn't work out, you both kind of fall on the sword. But, you know, I
Ooh.
think it's always good, you know, to get whoever you're working with in their opinion. You know, if they have a good idea, they're probably going to try to execute it better because it's their idea. You know what I mean?
Paul, what's your ideas from being an officer in the United States Army from what we're saying? What are you thinking in the crystal ball?
As far as leadership,
As far as you got to be able to take orders before you give orders, and you need to go to your guys, ask them what they think, and if they got a pretty good plan, roll with it. Like, give them some ownership, delegate. Like, what's your ideas on that? What's the life lessons you can impart on our viewers?
okay, so that given being the leader and allowing the people that work for you to have ownership of things, um it gets buy-in, and it builds a team actually, because when they know that you're going to accept and listen to their ideas, then they're not afraid to come to you with them. Number one. Number two, when push comes to shove and you have to be direct with them and say, no, we're going to do this, they'll follow you every time because you have allowed them to have input along the way.
Mm.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, like, dude, you've been in the sandbox, and like the discussions don't occur when the bullets are flying. Like, is people arguing about what's going to happen, or is it pretty much we're in this junk and I do my job? Like, talk about that.
Well, again, I was fortunate enough, one, to make it out of there. Two, to be able to you know, live the ultimate experience in the military. Meaning, I got to play in the game, because everything we did back in the United States was practice, and that was some of the best times, and a lot of the worst times, because a lot of people don't like to practice, and in the military, if the more you practice, the easier it is to do it for real. When real bullets are flying. You know, um, I was a convoy commander, and my right hand man, my platoon sergeant, he was a practice guy. He loved practice, so he kept us out in the field doing things over and over again. Do it. Convoy exercises in every situation that we can encounter, going into a city, driving along the highway. He practiced A to Z. And again, the young soldiers hated it at times because you just wanted to be done. But when we got out there in real life, there was no arguing actually at all, because everyone knew their job, because you've done it so many times. Now it's just in a different location, and it's under the bright lights of, oh my God, somebody can get killed. So everybody, now you've got everyone's full attention, and everyone's keen to what's going on around them. But again, they've all done it a million times before. It's just at a different location.
Man, absolutely. You know, I know there's a quote that I love, and it's something like, "He who sweats more in training bleeds less in war." You know, and I think what you just said just kind of hits it on the head. You know,
Mm-hmm.
going through adversity and being able to remain calm when it's nothing but chaos around, it's almost like having a superpower, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is so awesome. Heck yeah. Podcast 200. Man, what a blessing to go to Walmart at 6 a.m. and run into you, man. That's so cool, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's great. I mean, it is great. I mean, right place, right time, right time in my life, because it's just I feel like I have a lot to offer, but
Yes.
sometimes when you get taken off the dance floor, there's really no one to offer it to, because I'm not around those soldiers anymore like I was on a daily basis. So I mean, it was easy to sit someone down and get a cup of coffee and give them some wisdom, and and the ones that took it, man, it's a lot to put in their kit bag for future. And then it means a lot of them hit me back and tell me how it's working out for them, the ideas and things I told people to do along the way to make their life easy. But you know, again, once you step away, it gets quiet.
Yeah.
It's very quiet.
Yeah, it's just it's so amazing how opportunity is. Like, what if what if y'all had seen each other and just nodded and kept on moving? You know what I mean? Like that's just how it is. Sometimes you never know who you might speak to, and that's like this weekend. Me and the wife, we're going to St. Louis because 12, 13 years ago, I was at a beach resort, and this kid was doing offensive line drills, and I just happened to go talk to him. And now, here we are 13 years later. The kid, he's graduated, seen him graduate high school, graduate college, and now we're going to his wedding. It's just it's unbelievable. But it all started just by saying, "What's up, man? What are you doing? Let me coach you
Hmm.
up a little bit."
Yep. No, and I mean, and again, I give the militaries a lot of credit. They teach you to stop and chat with somebody just to make sure they're doing all right. But that's why I would never walk by him and not say anything. But another reason is, um, let me grab this phone charger. I'm about to run out of fuel. But another reason I talked to him, because my I have been listening to you guys for a long time. The whole time I was in Korea, I saw a lot of shows because, again, the beauty about Facebook is, and you using that as a platform is, because I was friends with Troy. It popped into my it was a pop up. So
Okay.
every time it popped up, I would sit and watch it. It got to the point where I knew it was coming on because of the time. So, and it was also always during a time that I wasn't doing much, because your 7:30 shows were 8:30 at night in Korea the same day. So I was winding down and watching TV and flipping through my phone. So I got to see a lot of episodes, and I was just cracking up, you know, um, not thinking for a second that I was going to be sitting right here on this thing, hanging out with you guys. But
Yeah.
I put it this way: up to today, I've seen more episodes than I've actually done. That's how many times I watched.
Well, you know us then. You
Yeah.
are one.
Oh yeah. No. And again, but that's why it was easy for me to hop on, because I knew your flow. I knew how like, it wasn't like I just was in a dark room and then I just came out and it's like, oh God, I'm on here now. What do I do? No, I watched the whole flow. I watched, like, guests come on and other guys, and I mean, I didn't know them, but I understood, like, your guys your
Pattern,
vision. Yeah, the pattern. Oh yeah, I understood the pattern of the show.
which there's no pattern. The pattern is there is no pattern.
That's why it was easy for me to hop on, because I just got in where I fit in, and I knew I could fit in because I'd already seen it.
That's it, man. Yeah. 1 minute we might be laughing. 1 minute Coach Taylor might be cussing somebody out. Next minute we might be all choked up, ready to cry. It's life lessons, baby.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And it's not a joke.
But that's one of the amazing things about this. Coach Taylor, he's known me forever, and there's something beautiful about having long-term friends that can witness, multiple versions of you, and I know he's seen every version of me. He's seen a lot of dark times, a lot of times where I just probably seemed out of my mind, but he's seen me how I'm doing now and everything, and the impacts that we're making. That's what it's all about, man. He's seen me fighting people. He's seen it all.
Yeah, you've seen me fight people. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a beautiful life we've had.
Great to chop it up, man. Like the Metallica song, "So Close No Matter How Far."
Hey, where was Mike from Princeton yesterday? You got your mic muted, Paul.
In his garage hitting golf balls probably.
That's a big garage.
Coach Ball, do you remember Mike Medley from Atoka?
Yes.
Did you play for Salem Church?
You played with the Davis twins.
Where Wales?
What, baseball or what?
Football.
No, I played for Gates.
And Salem.
I played for Salem like my Pee Wee first year juniors. Yeah. Yep.
And y'all were the same grade.
Matoka had some monsters. I remember going against Byron Thweet.
Uh-huh.
All those kids from Petersburg, the Kenny crew recruited.
Yep. Seamus was a big rival. Rudy Johnson was a big rival from Ettrick and then Thomasdale.
Yeah, he was a big rival. I think they scored 80 on us after I graduated. That game he didn't play in.
Yep.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Heck yeah.
He was the tailback for Auburn and the Bengals. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's everything that kids would want to be. Make it to the NFL, play for Auburn. Justin Medley. Well said, Coach Taylor. Well, I can't even remember is he talking about me? What did I say? I can't even remember. I don't even know what I say.
Oh, you were talking about leadership or something back a while ago.
Leadership. So how y'all feeling, man? Are y'all ready for the meeting today? We got to learn about autograph. Coach Bald, what do you got going on? Paul, what do you got going on for the rest of the day? I'm getting ready to go to my son's school.
I got to tap out.
Award. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hanging around.
You're just hanging around. All right, well, hit me up. Coach Ball, do you want to shout out our sponsor, St. Pete Rejuvenate?
Huge shout out to St. Pete Rejuvenate. It's hot this summer. You need IV hydration therapy. You know who to call. Call St. Pete Rejuvenate. If you're battling depression and can't find anything helping you out, they do ketamine infusions there. They're showing 80% of people that are doing ketamine infusions are better in their lives. So give them a shout. Do your research. Besides that, man, it's just great to be here. 200. I can't believe it. I can't wait for the next 200, 2,000. Hey, sky's the limit. Much love to you guys.
Love y'all, man. Stay on, Paul.